Good afternoon. So you people wrote the answer? Go back. Neha, I have few questions regarding Buddhism. Okay, ask. So currently, why we are not doing PYQs, all PYQs of Buddhism? Because currently you will not be able to solve all of them. If I teach you more Buddhism right now, you will become more confused. So first, I want you to consolidate the present notes, the present context of Buddhism first, and then we will take up Buddhism again in more detail after we complete everything else. Fine? Yes, Neha, ask. How can you increase your speed in writing? By writing with a target. Currently, when we write, how do we write? Pratitya Samutpad is a Buddhist theory. Like this. But if you keep your timer on, how many of you have bought that timer? कहाँ है? So timer is never for keeping at home. It should always be with you. So whenever you are writing an answer, open the timer and then start writing. And when you open the timer, there is something that goes on into your neural pathways. There is this TikTok also going on in the side. And then you keep writing. Then when you write, Pratitya Samutpad is the, the speed comes. Naturally, it will come. This is one way of increasing speed. And second way is more revisions. Better command over content, less time you will have to think, and more time in quicker way you can write your answers. Third, practice. If you have written something 10 times, will you take less time or more time in writing the same thing? Less time. So you reduce your time by practicing more. In notes, there is not much explanation about Sutantrika school and its criticism. How shall we explain it? So Tantrika school, the things that are given are sufficient. You just have to talk about what is Sutantrika school, how they have taken up the epistemology. All else is same. Pratitya Samutpad, Shanikvad, Anityavad, and all these things are same in Sutantrika also. So you can't, we don't have to repeat them in notes, but you can repeat them in you can utilize them in your answers. Content is in mind, but structure is not appropriate every time I write answers. Yes, so structure will come once you practice enough. Because first time when you will write, it will be like, oh, I should have written this here, that here. And after you correct your own self, ये तीनों अलग-अलग कैसे हो गए? 1, 2, and where is the third? Oh, third. अच्छा सिद्धार्थ सर बिठा के गए? Good. So structure will come slowly. But this is not something which is teachable. This is realizable, like Brahm or Atma. So you realize it कि ये चीज यहाँ आनी चाहिए, यहाँ नहीं आ सकती. The wisdom of writing an answer that will come. specific meaning of indifference, not caring. For 10 markers, it is somewhere around 6.8 minutes. For 15 marker, calculate kar lo. It is 8.5, है ना? Somewhere around 8.5 minutes. In starting, you can start with 10 minutes, है ना? ये सीधा 6.8 नहीं हो पाएगा. You can start with 10 minutes, 12 minutes, then gradually reduce your time. हो गया? दो. इसको डालो इस पे स्क्रीन पे. You have to write more. बाकी किसकी है ये? साहिल. देखा मैंने तुम्हारे टेस्ट, तुमने टेस्ट लिखा है. गुड. इसमें सनातनवाद और संघातवाद को इस तरह नहीं, विद इन कॉन्टेक्स्ट अगर फिट कर सको तो ठीक है, इस तरह से नहीं. ओके. Good. But why is there no conclusion? Ashutosh? Also write conclusion. No, Ashutosh. हो गया? चलो खोलो, लगाओ. Okay. So, you people are writing just as people who have read Buddhism twice or thrice should be writing. But once you read your notes for another 3-4 times, your way of answer writing will change. The way you interpret the question will also change. Currently, you are emphasizing on putting everything in the answers. हाँ, ज़्यादा कम हो गया. Ma'am, please explain Bodhisattva and Arhathood. We will do. That are part of Hinyan and Mahayana. Arhathood is found in Hinyan and Bodhisattva are found in Mahayana. We will do it in great detail. I can tell you now also, just for your, quenching your curiosity. So when in Hinyan, a person. So what is the basic philosophy of Hinyan? अगर हम देखें Hinyan, so according to Hinyan, everything is Dwadas Nidan, 12 causal link is there, and because of this 12 causal link, everything is Anitya. Anitya means impermanent. Because everything is impermanent, therefore there is everything is Kshanik, and therefore there is Niratmavad. Therefore there is no soul. It also includes within itself Sanatanvad and Sanghatvad. Fine, this all is Hinyan. Now, after this Hinyan believes that just like in a flame, when the oil is consumed, what happens to the flame? Blown off, gone. Gone where? To heaven? Hell? Siddhishila? Cease to exist. This is what Hinyan believes. So the nirvana or the concept of liberation of Hinyan was cease to exist, blown off. But is it very lucrative as a nirvana? A source of liberation? Is it very lucrative? Nobody likes to cease to exist. That is why Hinyan was less popular. Later on came Mahayana, or rather एक और sheet ले लेते हैं. Mahayana. In Mahayana also, 12 causal links, Anityavad, Kshanikvad, Niratmavad, Sanghatvad, Sanatanvad, all of these things. But now, remember there are two Mahayans, Vigyanvad and Shunyavad. Now, Vigyanvadins accept soul or conscious element rather. What should we say? Conscious elements to be present. ये सब कहाँ अप्लाई हो रहा है? ये प्रतीत्य समुत्पाद, अनित्यवाद, क्षणिकवाद मैटर तो है ही नहीं. In Yogacar Vigyanvad, is there some matter? There is no matter. But what is there? Consciousness. Kalisht Vigyan. Remember?
Yes.
Mano Vigyan, Alay Vigyan, all of these things. This means they accept consciousness. Where is Pratyutya Samutpad applied? In consciousness. What is Anityavad applied? In consciousness. Everything is in consciousness. Now, when we talk of liberation, where will the liberated soul go? Where will the liberated soul go? Alay Vigyan. It will merge back to Alay. Everything starts from Alay Vigyan and everything will merge back to Alay Vigyan. Fine. And let us take the concept of शून्यवाद. According to them, अभी हमने शून्यवाद बहुत rudimentary form में किया है. Because if I go in deep detail of शून्यवाद right now, बुद्धिज्म पे कमांड उतनी स्ट्रांग नहीं आ पाएगी. शून्यवाद में खो जाओगे, क्योंकि शून्यवाद के लिए पहले बेसिक बुद्धिज्म पे बहुत स्ट्रांग कमांड चाहिए. If you have very strong command on basic Buddhism, only then you will be able to use the import of Shunyavad. People get confused. Shunyavad kya, kaise, kya? It's not difficult. It's different. Fine. So what Shunyavad says? Shunyavad says everything is Shunya. This empirical world is what Shunya? Swabhav Shunya. And transcendental world or any other reality that we talk about is Prapanch Shunya. This means you cannot understand anything beyond empirical world, and empirical world also you cannot ascertain its nature. If you talk about this world, can you say anything certain about this nature? Can you say it is light? No, it's heavy also. Can you say it is only white? No, it is black also. Can you say it is only male? No, it is female also. You cannot just make any statement about it, because there is no fixed swabhav or nature of this world. And when we talk about anything beyond this world, means something like nirvana. Only nirvana is something beyond this world. And when we talk of nirvana, will you be able to talk about nirvana? Why? It is prapanch shunya. You cannot verbalize, you cannot put it into words. Nirvana, liberation, is something which has to be realized, but it cannot be explained, it cannot be thought about, because nirvana is beyond 4 categories of thought. Chatushkoti vinir mukta. There is a word for it. Chatushkoti vinir mukta. Chatushkoti means 4 categories of thought. Vinir mukt means beyond it. Usse free, uske beyond. Mukt. This means that nirvana is also shunya. The ultimate reality is of shunya. So if somebody talks कि शून्यवाद में ultimate reality क्या है? What is the ultimate reality of शून्यवाद? Shunya. Now things start from shunya and end in shunya. Now in this shunya, शून्य को तो डिस्क्राइब नहीं किया जा सकता, लेकिन जो ये जर्नी है, in this journey and in this journey, what people or monks become. So when monks are very near their liberation, there are 2 concepts in Bodhisattva. One is stalling your liberation. What is stalling your liberation? They say, भाई हमें liberation अभी मिल सकता है, लेकिन अभी हम लेंगे नहीं. We will not take the liberation right now. Why? Because other people are suffering. The sense of empathy. They want all the people to come together in liberation. So they will not take their own liberation so that they can teach more. They can help others. This is one concept. Second is transference of merits. What is transference of merits? So bodhisattva are, कौन सा धर्म सबसे अच्छा लगता है? कौन सा धर्म पॉपुलर होता है? जो ये बोलता है which religion gets popular? So for the English medium students, so which which religion becomes more popular? The one which says that you will have to work for your own merit, for your own nirvana, and after nirvana you will cease to exist, or that religion which will say it's okay, even if you have done something wrong, we are here to take care of you. We will transfer our good merits to you and take your bad merits and help you also to take good path and become liberated. कौन सा teacher अच्छा लगता है? The one who says you will have to study, or the one who says no, I will study for you and you will get selected? Understandable? That is why Mahayana became more popular, because there was these two concepts. So monks stalled their liberation, and the ones who even got liberated became bodhisattvas, not buddhas. Not buddhas. What they became? Bodhisattvas. Now, what are bodhisattvas? To understand it like Devi Devtas. Devi Devtas, you pray to Bodhisattva, you pray to Devi Devtas. So you go, you pray to the Bodhisattva of, Padmapani, Amitabh. There are various Bodhisattvas of specific nature, of specific things. So Buddhist people also used to pray to them. Amitabh, give me long life. Padmapani, give me strength. So now these Bodhisattvas who are of course, they have liberated, they have become Bodhisattvas, but they have not attained the Buddhahood. They have stalled it. They are not relieving themselves in the nirvana cycle. Because why aren't they doing it? Yes, they want to help all the people in the path of liberation. So if somebody is doing something wrong, they will transfer, if somebody is in pain, they will transfer their merit and help them over. But is it in line with the original philosophy of Buddha? Very far away. Pura matlab hi change ho gaya. Yes. That is why Mahayana is far away from the original teachings of Buddhism, yet it became more popular. That is why today when we talk about Buddhism, generally in foreign countries, what you see is Mahayana Buddhism. When you see temples, viharas, lavish golden mounted monasteries, big lavish processions, they are all Mahayana. Because Hinyan will not do any such thing. That is why Hinyan was termed selfish, whereas Mahayana was termed selfless. Understood? Yes. Yes. So, initially they were not deities, but slowly they became one. Yes. So there are various, sects focused on some particular bodhisattvas. So each bodhisattva has gained some kind of a specialization. Like in Hindu religion, there are specializations. If you want Lakshmi, like on Diwali, who will you pray? You will not go to Saraswati Ma, Durga Ma. Huh? And if you want courage, you will go to Hanumanji. You will not go to maybe some other god. Isn't it? So we have also created specializations. Hinyan became Buddha after liberation. Yes. So again, when in Hinyan, a person is there. So monks are there. In Hinyan also there is Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. So after Jivan Mukti is attained, a person becomes Arhat. Arhat. That is attainment of Arhathood. After you get Nirvana, you attain what? Arhathood. And once Videha Mukti is completed, you become Buddha. Now, what do Hinyanists pray? There are many Buddhas. There is not one Buddha. It all started with Siddhartha, who became Buddha. Buddha, what is the meaning of Buddha? Enlightened one. So there can be many enlightened one. Anyone who gets enlightened will become a Buddha. There are thousands and thousands of Buddhas in Buddhism. Of course, everything started with the first one, the Siddhartha. Fine. Now, what do then Hinayanists pray? How do we know Hinayanists are also there? What do they pray? They don't have shrines, temples, nothing. Stupas. They actually just respect the relics of enlightened ones. Once the Buddha is gone, or once the Arhat is gone, the relics like bones, hair, whatever is left are kept under a stupa. Why? Just as a remembrance that we also have to attain the liberation. Will they pray? Will they offer, what do you say, Phool Patti? So the Hinayanist way is more oriented towards meditation, scriptures, understanding Pratitya Samutpad, and realizing our own truth, and Ashtangik Marg, and ultimately liberation. And liberation means cease to exist. Pradakshina. That's again just as a remembrance. But these all things are introduced later on. There is always a very interesting thing in our culture, which is known as cross-influence. Each religion is being cross-influenced by the other. Each philosophy is being cross-influenced by other. So when Hinduism started doing Kirtan Bhajan, Jains and Buddhists thought, such entertaining ways. Nobody wants to get bored, isn't it? So they also introduced some kind of, and I told you, what kind of religion everybody likes? The one who solves our problem easily. Yeah. So there is a very good philosopher. He says, rather forget that, वो तो हम philosophy of religion में करेंगे. So there is the psychologist Freud. How many of you know Sigmund Freud? Sigmund Freud, you know? So Sigmund Freud said that we were so accustomed to the power of father in our lives. या फिर इसको और थोड़ा डीपली ही अगर समझा देते एक ही बार में, क्योंकि फिलॉसफी ऑफ रिलीजन में पढ़ेंगे तब नहीं समझाऊंगी, अभी समझ लो. So when we were children, we used to see our fathers as heroes. According to us, at that time, they were heroes. No one can lift this chair. Oh, my father can. You know? I want to buy that. Who can buy me? He can buy it. So for a child, 1, 2, 3, 4 years, a father is a almighty figure, all powerful, the one who can give everything. But after some time, when we become teenage, we realize that fathers are generally normal human beings. They have flaws, they are weak, they are not strong as we used to think about them. And now also, we also understand now we can also lift the chair. We don't, anymore think of him as very powerful. But this hunger or this idea that someone should be all powerful remains in our psyche. And this thing we want to fulfill with our notion of God. And we want God to be the one who listens to our prayers. And not just listen. What should he do then? Solve the problem. And solve our problem at the cost of even others. Acha, how many of you want selection? How many you pray for your selection? Acha, tell me. So to answer your prayer, should God select you even if you don't deserve it? But if you deserve, you will of course get selected. मतलब समझ आई बात? Should a more deserving candidate be ignored by God to select you? Yes. Yes. This means that God is biased.
Prayers are not only for the selection.
I'm not against prayer. I pray. But I am just telling you what is the yes. Fine? समझ में आ गई बात? ठीक है. तो Mahayana Buddhism and Hinayan Buddhism के difference का अंतर पता चला? So in Hinayan we have Arhat and Arhathood. In Mahayana you have Bodhisattva and Buddhahood दोनों में होता है पर. Both of them have Buddhahood. No, Eightfold Path is just the way. But once you reach the destination, you cannot describe it. This is the criticism now. Of course. We have written criticism of Shunyavad, no? We have written, right? वैसे अभी जब हम उसको दोबारा भी करेंगे ना शून्यवाद को देखो currently why I have not completed Shunyavad and this thing in deep detail because it will become more clear when we complete Vedanta. Na? Because question will come as a comparison with Shunyavad and Vedanta. But currently, can I compare it? So that is why, some portion of Indian philosophy, or rather specifically only Buddhism, will be more understandable and will become more strong and consolidated only if we do it at the end. Currently, I can teach you. If it's only about finishing syllabus, of course. But it's not about that. It's about that you should be able to answer holistically. And that we will be able to do when we do it at the end. Because that comparison you will understand then. तब actually बताना भी नहीं पड़ेगा. उसके बाद तुम खुद पढ़ोगे ना, खुद ही समझ में आ जाएगा.
But if you see the Buddhist teaching, it is a chain, not a straight line. So if we start seeing the cause of avidya, we can put anything as a cause of avidya. For example, in Dwada Siddhanta, it is also said that we can start from anywhere, not only from Jalamanda.
No. So yes, it's fine. We can start from anywhere, but generally it is taken that all the suffering and all the any cycle starts with ignorance. It's the generic statement for Indian philosophy, right? And this ignorance, from where this ignorance starts, like, were there people who were ignorant from the starting, or people came here, they acted and then became ignorant, or people were in the cycle and some became ignorant, some did not become ignorant? In that sense, nobody has explained that how, when, where, and why the ignorance starts. You are right. You are thinking from the side of?
Ignorance is eternal in everything. Because there cannot be a start of ignorance. Because if there is a start, then the preceding second would be a second of complete knowledge. And how can a student become ignorant from a true state of knowledge?
Yes, so but from how this eternal ignorance came into being?
Just like active philosophy considered at least one thing as an uncaused thing. So it is an uncaused.
Yes. Again, so Buddhism will explain it like this. But how will others criticize it?
Everybody is accepting, even Jains are accepting like this.
Everybody is accepting, like in Western philosophy.
they also accept the cause of faith. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but they will not accept the avidya. And when Western people read our philosophies, they become, they're not able to get the essence of it. They can get the essence of it only when they understand it from the point of view of Buddhism. So that is why in Western world, when you see the literature of Indian philosophy, you find two types of literature. One which is superficial, another which is deep. The one which is superficial will always criticize Indian philosophy. And the one which has deeper studies of Indian philosophy will appreciate it and understand and give the real import of philosophy. तो इसीलिए जब वेस्टर्न बुक्स हम पढ़ते हैं ना, मतलब अभी तो नहीं पढ़ते हैं इन द सेंस, लेकिन जब अगर किसी को आगे चल के मन हो, है ना, that we should pursue something in philosophy, then when you start reading for UPSC, not required, no foreign author book is required for UPSC. Fine. Any book which will be required will be told by me. And currently, do you have to buy anything? And if you really want to buy, what should you buy? C.D. Sharma. है ना? No? अरे यार, है ना? हाँ, Datta and Chatterjee, but C.D. Sharma is a little more comprehensive. है ना? Datta and Chatterjee is also good. So you can buy Datta and Chatterjee or C.D. Sharma. Of course, they are not written for UPSC purposes, but they are good books. Authentic sources, good books if you really want to read more. But don't go overboard. Don't buy X, Y, Z type of books. I'll tell you why. Because firstly, philosophy is a subject which is very open to interpretations. Even I can interpret Buddha and write a commentary on it, isn't it? And I do it for you sometimes. When I link it with science, of course, they have not linked it with science. But I know when I link it with science, it will be more understandable and acceptable and palatable and digestible to you. That is why I do it. So I can also interpret it. हो सकता है मेरे पास time हो तो मैं philosophy and science करके कोई किताब भी लिख दूं. है ना? The scientific explanation of Indian philosophy. Maybe. But again, should you read such books? Why not? Yes. Currently, your focus is only on exam. You just have to see whether you can write the questions or not. Sufficient content है या नहीं? बस. ज़्यादा content होगा तो लिखा नहीं जाएगा. कम होगा तो optimal होना चाहिए. How much content do you need? Optimal content. Fine? Okay. What is Buddhahood? Oh, Buddhahood means being Buddha. Being Buddha. Fine? Let us continue with Sankhya. Okay. अच्छा, sorry, हम तो आंसर देख रहे थे ना इसका. What is the role of Pratitya Samutpad in explaining Dukh? Dukh कहाँ से आता है? Four Noble Truth. Elucidate the means. Means eightfold path to overcome it. यहाँ पे सबसे पहले क्या लिखना चाहिए? About Dukh. Buddha gave, or the core philosophy of Buddha is four noble truths. First, you place Dukh. The question is centered on Dukh. तो कहीं तो उसे place करोगे ना? Four noble truth. First is Dukh, that is there is suffering. Second is there is a cause to suffering. Full stop. From the second noble truth, introduction में, from the second noble truth originates Pratitya samutpad. In the first line it's or introduction itself, you have related both dukh or placed both dukh and pratitya samutpad. Location bata di kahan kahan lie karte hain ye. Then all of this is good. ठीक है. What is pratitya samutpad? How it links, impermanence, shanikvad, anityavad. You all will be able to write it. Fine. You can write it in a little more concise manner, but yes, it is fine. है ना, ये सब बातें ठीक है. But what is not right in this? What is not right? We cannot make any concretized structure out of it. If some headings would have been made or some pointers would have been made, it would have been easier to understand and read. Again, when you are taking this much space, should it be written like this or should it be put it in a circle? जब इतना space ले ही लिया, so put it in a circle, because the right way of representing it is, because it is a vicious cycle. It's also square. है ना? Put it like a, how do you make a circle? अब ये भी बताऊं. ऐसे. एक second. और बीच बीच में लिख लो ना ऐसे. Fine. Is it a big thing? And reduce this space. Should you use this much space? ठीक है, but should you use this much space? No. Reduce it. Use handwriting which is, optimal. दिख भी जाए सामने वाले को. At the same time, it doesn't take up a lot of space. Now, you cannot just write Ashtangik marg and finish your answer. अच्छा, finish नहीं किया है? कहाँ है आगे? हाँ. But again, just making the diagram not sufficient. Rather than making diagram, what can you do? Point wise and explain one line at least about that thing. One line at least. And then this is a copy of Upanishad. Acha. Itni authority. इतनी तो शंकराचार्य ने भी नहीं दिखाई. This is the copy of. नहीं, तो criticized as a copy of Upanishad. You cannot write this is then. है ना? English. And when you are writing Upanishad, why don't you write Brahm Chakra of Upanishad? A little more technical term? Fine. चलो हटा दो. नहीं बस हाँ. चलो लगा दो, एक दो बच्चों के लगाओ. देखते हैं ऑनलाइन वाले बच्चों ने क्या किया. हाँ, तुम लोगों का तो इंट्रोडक्शन कंक्लूजन ही नहीं समझ में आता तुम लोगों को. What will you write? निर्वाण. तो मतलब 8-fold path जो है वो आपने अच्छे से नहीं लिखा. वहां पे तो निर्वाण की जगह ही नहीं है. You people exchange your answers, है ना? Just see 4, 5, 6 people, है ना? See each other's answer and you will understand better. Good, isn't it? This means with the same thing, same class, such introduction can be written. मतलब मेरे पढ़ाने में तो कमी नहीं है. प्रॉब्लम क्या है? हाँ, खुल के बोलो. अकॉर्डिंग टू प्रतिशत, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. किसकी कॉपी है ये? आशुतोष. वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. प्रतीति समुत्पाद का और इंपोर्ट बताया है. दिस बीइंग दैट अराइजेस. वेरी गुड. कितने छोटे से स्पेस में बनाया है? कैन यू सी दिस? is he or she is using a lot of space? No. Very good. यहाँ पे जब और आ जाएगा अच्छे से तो यहाँ पे हीनयान एंड महायान का मेंशन करके इट इज सीजेशन ऑफ एग्जिस्टेंस फॉर हीनयान एंड फॉर महायान बोधिसत्व. फाइन, वेरी गुड. वो क्या था? किसकी थी? अच्छा, टाइमर की फोटो भेजी है. हु इज ही? हर्षिता ने भेजी है. वेरी गुड हर्षिता, गुड. व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ दिस आंसर? ऐसे लाइक है ना, एंड वी डोंट रीड. Lot of space has been unutilized. फ्री में कैसे दे दोगे इतना स्पेस? What is your currency in mains examination? And effort, energy. Your energy is also a currency. You don't waste your energy in random things in mains. वो जब mains देने जाओगे तब हम डिस्कस करेंगे. स्पेस. Okay. You have written, but 3 pages are generally not given. If it is a 10 marker question, it's a 15 marker. Then also sometimes it is 2.5. Sometimes it's 2.5. Sometimes it's 3. Again, you could have explained if you could have used the space properly. नहीं, depend कर सकता है. It's your presentation style. You can do whatever you like until and unless your answer appears good and noticeable. बना सकते हैं, बिल्कुल बना सकते हैं. Like this, na? Yes, you can do that. You can double box it. No problem. Okay. Okay. Bhavaत्मक and abhavaत्मक arguments are epistemology of Yogachar. Yes. They are the arguments with which Yogachar has rejected matter and accepted consciousness to be the existing thing. Fine? Okay. चलो अब सांख्य पे आ जाए. I told you already, Sankhya is one of the oldest systems. And why is the word Sankhya? Why the word Sankhya is there? Sankhya. Sankhya. Why is number so important? Because Sankhya talks about 24 realities or truths. 24 truths it talks about. First, conspiracy theory. That Sankhya means Sankhya and Sankhya means 24 elements or truths which has been spoken up by Sankhya. Second, Sankhya means wisdom and true discriminatory knowledge. That is why Sankhya means to discriminate between things. And Sankhya name of this philosophy comes from gaining discriminative knowledge. What is discriminative knowledge? Abhi pata chal jayega in the course of time. Discriminative knowledge. But again, we have no concrete idea why this school was named Sankhya. Apart from this, the Sankhyan school, I told you, has been mentioned in Mahabharata, Ramayana, Gita, all Puranas and everywhere. It is one of the schools which has been mentioned nearly everywhere. Even in Gita, there is a reference to Sankhyan school and metaphysics. This means this also makes us understand that Sankhya school is really ancient, really old, to have so many references in ancient texts. Then Sankhyan school, I already told you, is also associated with Ayurveda and other sciences. And it is one school which is very close to science, because just as science talks about evolution, Sankhya talks about evolution. While religions generally talk about creationism. What is creationism? That God created the world sometime and he created the man directly. What is the Christian creationism? Adam and Eve. On the first day, God created this. On the second day, God created this. On the seventh day, God created humans. So humans directly. Satve dini. But with Darwin, with science, with all the studies we have now, we now know, is the man created or evolved? Evolved. Similar thing is talked about by Sankhya school, which talks about evolution, not creation. Jagat is created out of Prakriti or evolved out of Prakriti? Evolved out of Prakriti. From subtle to more complex, more complex, more complex. And once the complexity is completely reached, and once the Purusha separates, then this complex disintegrates and disintegrates into smaller, 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 and finally into the unmanifested Prakriti, which has been shown as Avirbhav and Tirobhav. Avirbhav is evolution, Tirobhav is devolution. Evolution, devolution. Fine. How many ultimate realities are accepted by Sankhya school? 2 ultimate realities. Only 2. One is Purush and one is Prakriti. Both of them are dependent or independent? Independent. Both of them are eternal, ultimate, absolute. All the terms, all the generic terms that we use for such entities, we will use it for them. Okay. What is the nature of Prakriti? Yes. Yes. Unmanifested. Subtle. Equilibrium of 3 gunas, organic unity of 3 gunas, dynamic unity of 3 gunas. Material cause of everything. Bolo. Imperceptible. Anuman, Jad, Shakti, Sarvagarbha. What is Sarvagarbha? Which has everything which is in the Garbha of Prakriti. Therefore, Sarvagarbha, 1, Shakti, Anuman, Jad, all the names are being given to Prakriti itself. And what is the nature of Prakriti? It is the combination or it is the essence. Its essence has been made by 3 gunas. Therefore, in this world, everything is having 3 gunas. Everything is made up of 3 gunas. Everything. Fine. Understandable? तो पुरुष कहाँ पे है? पुरुषा is the pure consciousness. But अभी रोल ही नहीं आया वर्ल्ड में. सब कुछ तो प्रकृति ने बना दिया. In you jivas, I also. In us jivas, apart from mind, senses, body, what else is there? Consciousness. Now this consciousness, can it be the product of unconscious prakriti? Can it be the product of unconscious prakriti? No. Therefore, it must be given by, or it must be the result of Purush. How he has explained it now, see. So this is unmanifested prakriti. Unmanifested, undifferentiated, unorganized prakriti, which is subtle in nature. Now Purush, which is pure consciousness, and its nature is illuminating, light, like light. When this Purush comes in proximity of this prakriti, what happens? It starts evolving. It starts evolving. Sattva changes into Rajas, Rajas into Char, Vishram Avastha, and slowly the evolution starts. And when the evolution starts, what happens? कहाँ गया वो chart लगाया? So this is unmanifest Mool Prakriti. The one I drew there. Now, when the Purush comes in contact, it starts evolving, and it evolves first into Mahat or Buddhi or intellect. This Buddhi or intellect that we have this ability to reason everything, intellect, to understand things. Is this the result of Purush or Prakriti? पुरुष सिर्फ प्रॉक्सिमिटी में आया है, अभी तक कुछ है ही नहीं. पुरुष सिर्फ प्रॉक्सिमिटी में आए हैं. अब सब कुछ इवोल्यूशन कहां से हो रहा है? प्रकृति से. दिस मीन्स इंटेलेक्ट इज बेस्ड ऑन मैटर और मटीरियल origin. Then ahankar. What is ahankar? Ego, self-identity. So the moment you start reasoning, the first thing that comes is I. What is I? मैं, मेरा, मेरा सामान, मेरे कपड़े, मेरा दोस्त, मेरे परिवार. This self or identity that erupts. And from this ahankar, according to Sankhya school, 3 energies start to, or 3 gunas start to become active. And these 3 gunas from Sattva Gun originate mind. Mind means सोचने समझने की क्षमता. Then 5 sense organs and 5 motor organs. From Rajas originate only energy. From Tamas originates 5 tanmatras and 5 which collect themselves and form 5 mahabhutas. किस किस को ये चार्ट मुश्किल लग रहा है? मुश्किल नहीं. मुश्किल नहीं है. It's very easy. You just have to remember 3-4 things only. So Prakriti evolves into Mahat. Mahat evolves into Ahankar. Fine. उसके बाद सत्व रजस तमस तो पता ही है. The moment you enter into sattva, mind is one, man or mind, then 5 sense organs. What are the 5 sense organs? Tell me. वही लिखने हैं. Fine. What are the 5 motor organs? अरे motor organs? हाँ हाँ वो वही तो है. Hands, feet, speech, excretory organs and reproductory organs. ये तो साइंस है, एनसीईआरटी, isn't it? अब एनसीईआरटीज भी नहीं पता क्या? 5 motor organs. Fine. Okay. Then what are the 5 tanmatras? Again, आंख क्या देखती है? ये ही सब चीजें. आंख देखेगी फॉर्म, कान सुनेंगे साउंड, स्किन क्या टच करेगी? टच, टंग क्या करेगा? टेस्ट एंड स्मेल. 5 tanmatras which collect and form 5 mahabhutas or great elements. What are 5 mahabhutas? From sound created akash or ether, from touch air, fire, water and earth. कुछ नया नहीं है. Nothing new. It is just a chart. So according to Sankhyan philosophy, sound, we are able to hear sound because the collection of it is Akash. Why we are able to see sparsh? Because there is this collection of air. And now, if you ask me why, nahi pata. Again, this is a very mythologically oriented philosophy. Yeah? We are not going into the mythological part, but yes, it is having that. Huh? अब कितने elements हैं? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 plus 5, 4 plus 5, 9, 9 plus 5, 14, 14 plus 5, 19, 19 plus 5, 24 from Prakriti, and 25th is. So total philosophy is made up of how many elements? 25. 24 is from Prakriti. All the evolutes are from Prakriti. Everything in this world is made up of matter. Even our mind, intellect, identity, ahankar is made up of matter. And this is very much in line with science. Because according to science, our mind or brain or intellect are controlled by neurotransmitters, and they are all material in nature. But there is only one thing which is not material in nature, that is consciousness, which science is not able to prove or decode. And according to Sankhya, that is Purush or consciousness. अब इस प्रकृति में जैसे ही महत और अहंकार के लेवल पे हम आ गए, जब ये अहंकार वाला एवोल्यूशन स्टार्ट हो गया, ये पुरुष है, तो पुरुष इज लाइक मून, light. Just as when there are waves in an ocean, and if there is a moon, what happens? But what other thing will happen? Reflection of moon? Reflection of moon will be there? Pakka? और कितने मून आएंगे? इनफाइनाइट मून। किसी ने देखा है? अरे गोवा तो गए होंगे तुम लोग। प्लानिंग? अच्छा। Anybody seen a coastal ocean on moonlight? बहुत आजादी दे रखी है ना तुम्हें। अच्छा पापा की पोस्टिंग वहां थी। ओ देन इट्स फाइन। कौन कौन फ्रेंड्स के साथ घूमने गया था गोवा? शरीफ नहीं है, बता नहीं रहे हैं। Okay, fine. So when you see sun, sorry, this moon on a ocean, how many moons reflection do you see? Infinite. Each wave will have a reflection of moon. Now, to understand what Sankhya wants to, highlight, तो पुरुष की नेचर क्या है? Conscious and pure consciousness. Pure consciousness. And its nature is of light, just like moon. Fine. This is Prakriti. Prakriti in the unmanifested form evolved into Mahat. And now Mahat. And now when this Purush gets reflected, the pure consciousness gets reflected in this Prakriti, there is this formation of ego. Consciousness, pure consciousness है तो पुरुष में, लेकिन जब वो रिफ्लेक्ट होती है प्रकृति में, इट इज लाइक जैसे लाइट पड़ती है, तो लाइट वहां पर भी तो दिख रही है ओशन में. यू कैन सी द लाइट इन ओशन. सिमिलरली a hint of consciousness starts getting reflected in Prakriti. So each one of us, Jeev, is just a reflection of Purush. Our egos are different. So there are how many moons? How many reflected moons? Infinite reflected moons. Is this moon same? Is this reflection same with this? What will it depend on? The shape of wave. So we will be depending on our three gunas, which are part of Prakriti. Which are part of Prakriti. When we understand it like light, only then you can understand it. So pure consciousness is with Purusha or Purush. It's there only. In Prakriti, it is only the reflection of Purush. And because of that reflected consciousness, the Prakriti itself, small pockets of Prakriti starts acting like Jeev. We are small pockets of Prakriti which have started acting like Jeev, because we have a hint of consciousness which is reflected in nature from Purush. Now this reflection, imagine this reflection of moon starts thinking, I am the moon. This reflection starts thinking or starts assuming an identity of its own, like we have done. So we are reflected consciousness of Purush and we become attached with Prakriti. Attached with all the things. This body is what? Material in nature, Prakriti. This phone, tablet, other people are what? Just modifications of Prakriti. But we become attached and we assume, and we assume an identity or ahankar. Ahankar is ego. I. So it is like ये जो reflected moons है ना, they start acting like moons. Apunich moon hai. Something like this. And if all the moons start acting like this is what sansar is. So basically, what is the problem according to Sankhyan school? What is the problem? Getting attached to the Prakriti, yes. But before that, ego. Before that, acting. We have forgotten that we are just a reflection of Purush and started acting like our own self. Like we have assumed an identity of our own. And the moment we assumed an identity of our own, we become attached to. We get the feeling of main, mera, and everything. We become attached to the material body that we have. We become attached to the material things we have. We become attached to all things Prakriti has to offer. And when we become attached to all things that Prakriti has to offer, or all material things, we start acting or we start doing karmas for pleasure and pain. We start wanting things. Bada ghar. What is bada ghar? Pleasure. Just a Prakriti. We start wanting someone. What is someone? Prakriti. Material object. Just material object, isn't it? We start wanting some worldly things, this, that, and all these things. And the moment we start acting under desire, passion, lust, anger, attachment, and pride, what happens? We accumulate karmas. And because we accumulate karmas, we get into the cycle of birth and death. And because there is birth and death, there is a continuous cycle of suffering and pain, suffering and pain. More karmas, suffering. Some good thing, rich family, some pleasure, doing heinous crimes, then pain goes on. Cycle goes on. And when this cycle goes on, how can you break it? Yes, because will doing good karmas make you liberated? No, because good karmas will give good effects. Bad karmas will give bad effects. Even if you do good karma, you will be born as son of or daughter of Ambani or now Adani. But still you will have to be born, isn't it? So this means good karmas will not help you in liberation. The only thing which has created the bondage, what was it? That we stopped understanding that we are only the reflection of Purusha. Actually, it's only the Purush, isn't it? The only reality is of Purush. We are actually Purush only, na? भाई हैं तो हम सब पुरुष, एक तरीके पुरुष इन द सेंस प्योर कॉन्शियसनेस. हमारी जो आइडेंटिटी है, जो रिफ्लेक्शन किसके पास, who belongs the reflection? Purush only, right? So ultimately, who belongs us? Purush only. Now, just that reflection has assumed an identity of its own. That is the problem, that we have forgotten what is our true identity, and we have become attached with Prakriti. We have forgotten our true identity and become attached with Prakriti. This means the only way to liberate is detach from Prakriti. Only way to liberate is detach from Prakriti and understand our true nature, that is Purush. That is, we only have to gain the knowledge of discrimination. Discrimination means discrimination between Purush and Prakriti. We just have to understand that we are the pure consciousness, Purush. While all things material in this world are mere evolutes of Prakriti. Just mere evolutes of Prakriti. And if only we can differentiate that we are different from Prakriti, fine. Currently, this body is mine. Malab, I am in this body. But is this body mine? After 70, 80 years? Will I call this body mine? Similarly, all things we call mine, all the material things we call me, mine, and we attach ourselves with are temporary. And just if we understand this, that this is not me, what am I? Pure consciousness, that is Purush. The moment, it's very difficult to attain. It's easy to hear and it is easy to write. And even it is easy to say. But what is more difficult? To realize this truth. Because if I tell you this body is not yours, if it's not yours, let's slap it. What will be the first reaction? So the realization that this body is not me is very difficult. And the moment one realizes it, one becomes liberated. Again, Sankhya will accept what? Jivan Mukti and Deha Mukti. So the moment the realization is there, saint or monk achieves Jivan Mukti. But still, because the balance of karma has not been repaid completely, the saint will exist. But in this meantime, will the saint be attached to the body, things, other people? What kind of actions will they do? Disinterested actions. Disinterested action means not out of passions, nishkam karma. And once the balance of karma becomes zero, Videha Mukti. So tell me, what kind of ethics will Sankhya follow? Will they promote good karmas? Bad karmas? What will they promote? Disinterested karma, nishkam karma. So when I told you that Gita made reference to Sankhya, karm kar phal ki ichha, you do action, but not in a passionate manner, but in a disinterested manner. What is disinterested manner? You do not do action for your desire, selfishness, selfish interest. Just like you do not help others to gain something out of them. You just help others for helping. Interested मतलब body तो तुम्हारी है ही नहीं ना, body तो तुम हो ही नहीं ना. According to Sankhya, are you your body? You are the soul. क्यों करोगे जब तुम हो ही नहीं? Now, knower is only Purush. The one whose Purush is like a witness. This Sakshi Bhav will be talked about in Vedant. अब इसको है ना, witness को हम एक बार समझेंगे. ठीक है? ये witness, the concept of अरे यार चेयर रखो यार. This concept of witness will come again in Vedant. It is also important when we will do certain Western philosophers, the concept of witness. So we will understand it once and we will use it, the same concept with different names many times.
Ego is material.
Hmm.
Ahamkar is material. And since ego is material, my personal identity is material.
Hmm.
And if my personal identity is material, then how can karma affect it? Karmic things can affect only something, for example, the conscious things only.
No. Why?
Unconscious material can also be affected by karma.
Everything, according to this, apart from this small reflected consciousness, which Sankhya philosophy calls as Saupadhik Purush. Saupadhik Purush. Yeah? Except this reflected consciousness, everything is Prakriti. Everything is Prakriti. हाँ, अभी आएगा. देखो, currently when we are saying Saupadhik Purush, how many Saupadhik Purush are there? Infinite. This means plural Purusha or Bahu Purushvad. What is this philosophy known as? Bahu Purushvad. Bahu Purushvad means how many Purushas are there? Infinite. But are these the Purusha, transcendental Purusha? How many transcendental Purushas are there? One. Only one. है ना? But now when Sankhya talks, अभी हम आएंगे उस पे, है ना? We will come to that. That when Sankhya is talking about Purush, he becomes confused. Or they become confused. Actually, they are not confused. The readers are. They are very clear about it. But problem is, when you call this also Purush, and this also Purush, when you talk, it is like Amit is talking to Amit. It's confusing. But the one who understands which Amit am I talking about, am I confused? No. So it's something like this. In their text, when they have written Purush, sometimes as a Purush, they refer to this transcendental consciousness. And sometimes when they write Purush, they talk about phenomenal ego. That is, phenomenal ego means this. हम छोटे छोटे जीवास और सेल्फ. अब ये जो है ना, इसको हम क्या क्या बोल सकते हैं? इसको हम बोल सकते हैं रिफ्लेक्टेड पुरुषा. देखो अब सब इंग्लिश चल रही है ना? Just see, this concept remains the same. I can use different terms for this thing. I can write reflected purusha. I can write phenomenal ego. Phenomenal ego मतलब जो phenomenal world में रहती है वो ego. Can I just write ego? Can I just write jiva? Can I just write jiva? Can I just write empirical self? Empirical self? Does it make any difference? Same meaning? Can I write what else? Bahu Purush or Saupadhik Purush? Empirical self कर सकते हैं, empirical consciousness कर सकते हैं, है ना? The same thing can be called with these names. What can we call the above Purusha? Transcendental consciousness, pure consciousness, luminal ego, pure ultimate reality, pure light, anything. Fine. Just because there is this confusion of reference between Purusha. I understand your question. दोबारा बताओ.
All the empirical ego are the reflections of the pure consciousness. They are not realized. And karmic particles.
Real again is a very dangerous term in Indian philosophy.
In the sense that they are not like the pure consciousness.
Better.
Since pure consciousness cannot get affected by the karmic particles, then the only thing remains to get affected by the karmic particles is matter. And how can matter get affected by karmic particles?
Why not?
ये चेयर को कार्मिक पार्टिकल से क्या मतलब है? तो वो भी
जो ये reflected consciousness है ना, this reflected consciousness, this empirical self, the moment it acquires ego, yes, ego is material, but it is illuminated by consciousness. Fine. ऐसे समझो. वो देखा है तुम लोगों ने यूवी लाइट से वो रेजिन को हार्डन करते हैं. Have you seen this? How can a light impact resin?
Particles के वजह से हो जाता है. यहाँ तो saying reflection means reflection.
So according to this, the consciousness is like just like a light, fine. And the moment it illuminates the subtle ahankar, this ahankar starts acting like an identity.
The mind molecule is how can a consciously start brings consciousness in an unconscious thing.
हाँ, उसका एग्जाम्पल दिया ना उसने. अभी आएंगे ना एग्जाम्पल, अभी आएगा. उसने 3 एग्जाम्पल्स दिए. एंड दोज एग्जाम्पल्स आर, Sankhya will explain, don't worry. Whether acceptable or not, that's a different story. But they have given explanation. Of course, Sankhyan school is full of criticism. And the reason is, there are certain loopholes. Had there not been any loopholes, so Sankhyan would have been a very popular philosophy. But there are certain problems. And because of those problems, we will criticize. Don't worry. Why Purusha gets attached with Prakriti? What is the necessity? Yes. So I told you the purpose yesterday. Why Purush gets attached with Prakriti? Kaivalya Artham. Now, Purusha, according to Sankhya philosophy, wants to realize its own self. But of course, if it is pure consciousness, it should not be confused. But again, Sankhya philosophy ko to koi reason dena padega na. So according to it, Purush, what is the purpose of Purush? That it wants to attain Kaivalya and to realize its own nature. It must get reflected into Prakriti and become part of this whole creation. So when the aspirants try to attain Kaivalya, it's like realizing of its own nature becomes more strong. ये जो पुरुष की जो pure consciousness है ना, ये अपनी nature को बेहतर समझ पाता है. अब of course, when you say confusion is because at starting only, Sankhyan people said Purush is udasin or Purush is indifferent. Purush is not affected by any other thing. Purush is beyond birth and death. Purush is beyond this. Purush is everything perfect. And here they are talking about that Purush, to realize itself, requires Prakriti. And it requires people to achieve Kaivalya so that the transcendental ego can realize its own self. Doesn't it go contrary? It goes. This means we will criticize. हाँ वो तो indifferent ही है. नहीं देखो वही मैं बताया ना, कंफ्यूजन क्यों आया पूरी फिलोसफी में. जो भी हम क्रिटिसिज्म करेंगे क्यों करेंगे? The confusion between this Purush and all the criticisms will be because of this. देखो मैं clear कर दूंगी अभी, लेकिन I don't want to, because then you will not be able to write criticism with good conviction. But we have to write it. Understandable? Yes.
So each Prakriti, after coming in, those proximity to Purush will get ego. So how do they explain non-living things? Non-living things will also have ego, like a bench or a tablet.
No. They are just evolutes of Prakriti without ego.
Manifestation of Prakriti.
Yes.
Every manifestation of Prakriti
Will
comes in close proximity with Purush.
क्या?
Manifestation of Prakriti is because it comes in close proximity to Purush. So that Mahat and so ego. So
No. This is the evolution mainly of Jiva. Apart from this evolution, the material things will evolve also. Mountains, rivers, tables, chairs will also evolve. but their evolution is just material in nature. There is no role of, Purush, or there is no role of, what do you say, Jiva. The evolution, the flowchart we studied, it was only for Jeev. But all the Ajeev things are also there. Apart from us Jeevs, there are Ajeev things like ground, table, chair, walls.
What,
These are material evolutes.
what will determine that one thing will have ego and other won't?
The subtleness. So it's like the proportion thing, guna.
Three,
The three gunas, when they come in a particular proportion and in a particular subtleness. That's why I told the word pockets. No? Pockets of subtle prakriti. Those pockets will develop into jivas. Other pockets will remain without.
I mean, in karma theory, if there's birth and death, so after my death, my shadow will, my reflection will go out. So new reflection will come.
No. So, nahi, kya, if after liberation or after death? Acha, after death, yes.
After
Yes.
death,
Yes.
reflection goes and new reflection comes because I take birth again.
Yes.
So how does karma transfer? Because if it's a new body and new everything, so how does, and there's no one.
So karmas are transferred automatically according to Sankhya. It's like the karma theory is automatic or a law of nature according to Sankhyan philosophy. No, abhi tak dekho God nahi aaya. There is no requirement of God till now. All the explanation has been done by Prakriti and Purush only. Where is this Purush living? Dekho, we people can any time or anyway know only Prakriti. Can we go out of Prakriti? Can this reflection go out of ocean and know the Purush or Prakriti or anything else? They are independent as specified by Sankhya. But for creation, creation is dependent on both. Coming together of both.
After liberation, after liberation, जो individual है, वो वापस उसमें चले जाएंगे कि
वापस? There will be no new birth. And we are initially only Purush only, the transcendental ego only. It is just that we have forgotten our own identity and start behaving like we are Prakriti. We start behaving like we are material. We have stopped understanding that our true nature is only Purush.
After becoming Purush, can again become reflection of Purush. Because once it happens, it can happen again.
No. So according to Sankhya, the once you get liberated, you get liberated. But of course, the cyclical thing will go on. It will go on. वापस जाने का मतलब बेसिकली अब दोबारा रिफ्लेक्शन नहीं बनेगा. दोबारा रिफ्लेक्शन नहीं बनेगा. देखो, this reflection thing is analogy given by them, given by Sankhyan philosophy. And analogies are there to understand a concept, but not exact. Not me. According to
But we are the manifestation of Prakriti.
We are the manifestation of Prakriti.
How is our
The consciousness, dekho, wait. The consciousness in us is a reflection of Purush. Apart from that, our intellect, mind, body, man, sense organs, sensory organs, motor organs, everything else, even the air, water, fire, everything is just Prakriti. Fine. Now this person, that's why I told you, na, we need to understand the concept of witness. We will do it just now. This witness, or this what do you say, as consciousness within us, this is Purush. And according to Sankhya, this is our own self. Yahi hai hamari true nature. The consciousness itself is our true nature. Else, what is difference between me and this table? Because mind will work only if it is conscious. And if you take away consciousness in a dead body, is there a mind? Yes. Is there a brain? Is there a man? All of these things are there. But what is not there? Only one thing that is not there is consciousness. So according to Sankhya philosophy, our true nature is that consciousness. All else is just manifestation of Prakriti. And this consciousness, which is only a reflection kind, gets attached to all the things Prakriti has to offer. That we start thinking, the thoughts we are having are mine. We start thinking, the feelings that I am having is my feelings. मेरा मन कर रहा है आज मेरा मन खुश है. You know, my man is happy. Now, the moment you say my man is happy, man is material. Huh? But what has given this consciousness to this man? Can a dead body say my man is happy? No. This means the life force is only consciousness. And this consciousness has illuminated the man, the ahankar, the intellect. And if this illumination is taken out, all else is just matter. So it is just like electricity. As a just like electricity. If there is a toy, a robot, you attach electricity, it starts working fully. Everything starts working very fine. Every part of it. And it works as if it is, very, very well coordinated and everything. All the systems are in place. You just remove electricity. Will those parts work? Will it work? No. So this consciousness is just like electricity. Just as electricity transfers everything, starts movement and everything out there. Similarly, the consciousness is there and it starts illuminating man, buddhi, ahankar and everything. You just remove the consciousness, all things are just matter. Nothing else.
Is it something like a modified version of Java?
Right.
And where only they said कि nature defines everything. यहाँ पे इन्होंने बस introduction में पुरुषा का दिया, पुरुषा के वजह से प्रकृति manifest होती है. Everything else is प्रकृति only.
No, there is a difference. There is a difference. There was no teleology there. Here it is teleological. What is teleology? For Purush it is Kaivalyartham. For Prakriti it is Darshanartham. No, it's not authentic criticism. We will not do it. Stop thinking like it. Because you can understand Sankhya only with the mindset of Sankhya. Yes. Purush is our essential character. According to Sankhya.
So that kind of identification is what stops the change of action.
Yes. The moment we start identifying ourselves as the transcendental Purush or the transcendental ego or pure consciousness, will your actions be selfish? Can your actions be selfish? They will be selfless. So this is this identification, thing. So if consciousness moves inside a rock, it will become alive as well. No, rock has become gross, but if there are subtle things, subtle particles, because according to Sankhya, they have explained ego, ahankar, man also as material things, but are they gross? Can you see man? This means even though it is matter, it is highly subtle, very subtle. Can you see your ego? Touch, taste, smell, no? Because even though it is material in nature, it is very subtle. Just as you cannot see leptons or quarks, even though they are material in nature, but they are subtle. So now Sankhyan philosophy is very near to science, which is accepted by science. That just as Sankhyan philosophy has accepted that even man, ego, and all of these psychological states are materially originated, similar has been accepted by science. Yes, 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 yes. In this, the three gunas, the nature, and the science also talks about. It's a very. I don't want. I didn't wanted to tell you, but yes, we talk about dark energy, dark matter, white energy, white matter. We talk about it. What is white energy, white matter? White matter means normal matter. Sattvic, tamasic, and the energy out there, cosmic energy, rajasic. It's just till the time dark energy converts into dark energy, white energy converts into white energy, है ना? Cosmic energy converts into cosmic energy. Everything is balanced, nothing is created. When there is this interplay, creation or evolution starts. Fine? ठीक है? क्या हो गया? साहिल, तुम्हारा किनारा सही नहीं चल रहा है. If our consciousness is only reflection of Purusha, then what is needed for liberation of actual Purusha? Just discriminatory knowledge. What is discriminatory knowledge? That we are able to discriminate Purush from Prakriti. Our own consciousness from the evolutes of Prakriti. But ma'am, all materials are not subtle. We can perceive body. Yes, that is why material body is, what do you say, kya? Gross matter. Yes. Ma'am, in Gita, Kapil Muni is considered to be the incarnation of God. The how Sankhya is atheist. Yes, so that is Gita. So Gita has said that Kapil Muni is the reincarnation of Vishnu. He is given such respect, huge respect. विष्णु का अवतार माना गया है कपिल मुनि को, जिन्होंने सांख्यन फिलॉसफी दी है. But himself, Kapil Muni has not accepted God, and rather Kapil Muni has said in his Sankhya Karika and other books that even Vedas do not talk about God but talk about Prakriti. He has interpreted the Vedas to say that the world is created by Prakriti. Prakriti. Pra means pre, Kriti means creation. Prakriti. So before creation, what is there? Prakriti. And the moment it creates, what becomes world? Jagat. समझ में आया? Sure. अच्छा, नीचे करके देखो क्या है. Purush is beyond bondage and liberation when it is attached to Prakriti. Why the body which forms not liberated है? मुझे question समझ नहीं आया विकास. If Purusha itself is seeking for Kevalyartham, what is liberation for them? So yes, so you know, when the Kevalyartham is talked about, Kapil Muni is talking about this Purusha. No? We must understand. It's not that, because that Purusha is itself beyond everything. Is Purush omnipotent? No. Will it be omnipotent? Omnipotent means will it be all powerful? Power की तो बात ही नहीं है ना. That's only pure consciousness. Can pure consciousness be active? No. Purush can only be passive. इसके लिए example क्या दिया है उन्होंने? कपिल मुनि ने, उन्होंने कहा प्रकृति इज लाइक blind man and purush is like legless, what do you say, lame, a lame man, and now there is a fire in forest. How do they cross it? By cooperating with each other. Lame man can ride the blind man and they both can cross the forest. एक अंधा लंगड़े के ऊपर बैठ जाएगा, सॉरी लंगड़ा अंधे के ऊपर बैठ जाएगा बैठ जाएगा तो दोनों मिलके क्रॉस कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज हु कैन गाइड? the lame one, because he has eyes, and the blind one can actually walk and cross the forest, है ना? So it is just an analogy to make us understand that Purush is just like a lame one. Purush cannot do anything. It is just a witness, just a pure consciousness which has no activity, nothing. And Prakriti is the one which is ever active. जब हमने प्रकृति किया था, हमने याद है, हमने लिखा था ever active. And now this activity and direction comes together to create this world. Now you will be saying, "Acha, ma'am, matter तो active होता ही नहीं है." In Newton science, matter is not active. In Einstein science, matter is full of activity. हाँ.
वो अपना प्रकृति के पास आता है और फिर रहेगा।
एक क्रिटिसिज्म है, नहीं. Sankhya are not able to explain why Purush and Prakriti come together, and what is the nature of exact contact? Is it the true contact? अच्छा, इसको भी कर ही लेते हैं जब हम कर ही रहे. Is it the true contact? नहीं? तुम लोग तो सुबह से क्लास में हो ना? है? अच्छा, तुम लोग भी सब सुबह से क्लास में. तुम लोग तो बदमाश बच्चे लगते हो मुझे. कौन कौन सुबह से क्लास में? बाकी क्या कर रहे थे? हाँ? जीएस मतलब एक क्लास होती है क्या तुम्हारी? कब से स्टार्ट होती हैं क्लासेस? 8 to 12:30. कितने घंटे की होती है? कहाँ पढ़ते हो?
7:30 से 10.
एक ही क्लास होती है? किसकी एक क्लास होती है? जीएस की 2, 3. तुम तो मेरे ही बच्चे नीचे करवाते, इनके अलावा. फिलोसफी के साथ 4. ओके ओके ओके, ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं कोई बात नहीं. पुरुषा इटसेल्फ इज सीकिंग कैवलियरता. अच्छा ठीक है, हो गया. तो एक काम करते हैं, टुडे यू विल गो एंड रीड. फाइन, वी विल कंटिन्यू टुमारो. वी विल फिनिश इट टुमारो एंड स्टार्ट विद योगा. अरे तो क्या बचा इसमें? हो गया सब. ओनली सत्कार्यवाद असत्कार्यवाद इज लेफ्ट. दिस इज Sankhya, yes. Okay, bye bye.